Enforcer. The class you need. Besides that, yeah, we're going to do Enforcer class. Very OG class from Crash Site. Pretty cool design. I like it. Does it perform well? We're just going to have to find out. I mean, you know, surely it's aged like fine wine. I don't see any issues. Also, it's a dupe of Protostartorium, I think is the name. Something like that. I haven't got it in my inventory, but it's a dupe of that. Either way, let's begin and I'll show you the power of this amazing class. Okay, so to actually get this class, you want to join Crash Site. Everyone knows this map. If you don't, then I'm sorry that you missed out on your childhood. Yeah, to get the Enforcer class, you need to kill these barrier bots, and then you should be able to just pass through. Mithril Man drops the Enforcer, and then the Protostartorium boss, which is in the other room, drops Protostartorium. This is a non-member class. Protostartorium is a dupe of this class, but it's a legend-only class. And there's also a Rust Bucket you can get from the beginning lady. She gives you a quest. Okay, so we're in the museum, as per usual, and what does that mean, guys? Whoa, enhancements. Who would have guessed it? Full luck. I wouldn't suggest anything else. Full luck, health amp, to be honest. If you have Forge enhancements, go ahead. I'm going to be using Lacerate for the most part. And yeah, that's going to be it. Besides that, let's just move on. Okay, and now we're in Class Hall, and we're going to go over the amazing skills which Enforcer has, and I'm sure you'll be in awe and utter shock as soon as you see how much damage this class does. Either way, let's begin. Okay, so your auto attack, it's nothing special, just a regular auto attack, 2 seconds, it's not faster, not slower, nothing else to be said. Your second skill is Jackhammer. This is going to do 225% of your original weapon damage, and will basically deal a non-crit hit every single time. As you can see, 1.1k. Your third skill is going to be Plasma Bolt, and what this does, it deals physical and magical damage and is a long range attack, which is different from the short range second skill, and also lowers the enemy's chance to hit you by an extra 20%. As you can see here, it applies Flash Bolt, which is the debuff, I'm pretty sure. Your fourth skill is going to be Arc Lightning. You'll see this later on in more depth when we go over the actual farming section, as this passes through 4 enemies, and the more enemies it passes through, the more damage you'll see and the more damage it will deal. As you can see, 957 on a crit. I imagine it'll go around 2k-ish, if I can think properly. I don't know, we'll see. We'll check it out later, obviously. But yeah, pretty okay farming skill, especially for back in the day. Finally, your fifth skill, Event Horizon, is going to give you a buff of 20 seconds, reducing all incoming damage based on your own attack power, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, that's pretty decent, to be honest. And then finally, you have your passives, which I usually forget to go through. Quick Light Lightning, this is going to increase your haste by 15%. And then you also have Ground, which reduces your damage by 10%. This class does not have a 10th rank passive, therefore I'm only rank 5, because I don't see any further point of me ranking up this class, to be honest. Also, the amount of damage depends on your own HP. I know I said luck earlier, but I'm sure if you want to do fighter for something like PvP, that will work out a bit better for you, as you'll be dealing a bit more damage, and you'll have more health in general. But yeah, I prefer luck, to be honest, because I get more mana. And also health vamp is a thing. Okay, and now we're in Lair to show off the actual class. Is there a combo? Not necessarily. I'd suggest basically keeping up your 5th and your 3rd skill as much as possible, obviously to get the debuffs up, and then also just using your 2nd and your 4th when possible. If health vamp is needed, use health vamp, however I'm using Lacerate. Either way, let's go. I don't think it will need to be sped up, so I may just talk, but we'll see. Wow, look at that, we barely lived. I'm going to call that a win. Definitely health vamp would be useful for soloing situations. Are we going to fight another boss? Sadly not, because I don't think it's going to end well and it's going to take forever. But yeah, for back in the day, that would have been very impressive. But yeah, using health vamp definitely necessary for soloing situations, unless you want to be a bit risky and then maybe die. Okay, and now we're in Shadow Realm Past. I'm going to be using this place for the 4th skill to show you off the 4 hit capabilities. It hits around 2.4k-ish when it does attack these guys with a crit. But yeah, I would recommend once again keeping your debuffs up active as long as possible. If you can get a crit, well done. If you don't get a crit, that's too bad. But yeah, for back in the day, this actually probably would have been pretty okay as a class for farming, to be honest. Definitely not something which was that bad. This is why you would have seen a few people with it that you saw, the 2.4k crit to the left. Rewind the video. I know it's impressive, it's impressive. It's basically an in-between of a farming class and a soloing class. Obviously it has the debuffs and the self buffs. But also the fact of you have the 4th skill with like the 4 target hit is kind of strange to me. Once again, it is a hybrid class, like they do specify to use hybrid stuff, but in the same way, it probably would have been better set to either a farming or a soloing class. But they were testing stuff out. They were testing mortars back in the day as well. I don't blame them. If this class did get a buff, personally, I'd like to see a difference between Protestatorium and Enforcer. I'd like Enforcer to be a more soloing class or a debuff oriented class. Protestatorium maybe more of a farming buff type class or something like that. But yeah, pretty okay. It does need heals once again, so health vamp may be necessary. But Lacerate isn't doing too bad of a job. Sadly, there's no other forge enhancements which do help you in certain ways for your 4th skill. But yeah. Okay, and that's going to be the end of the Enforcer video. Honestly, once again, I really like the design of the class. I think it's a really nice design. I really love the armor. Sadly, it's not as good as it was. Back in the day, it would have been pretty okay, to be honest. Same with Rust Bucket. It was actually an okay class back in the day. Then all the other classes came in, and then it got outshone. I do wish they would buff classes like these, especially the original ones. It would be nice to see, it would be fun to see, fun to use them again. Fun to make them at least somewhat viable, in a way. Because even Forge Enhancement can't even save these, I'm sorry. Yeah, you'd hope so, but I don't think it's possible. On a PvP sense, I've been told Enforcer was actually a pretty good PvP class back in the day as well. I would like to say for soloing, probably a C tier. For farming, probably a C+. It's not bad in any way, but it's also not good. It needs a buff in both ways. Especially the healing sense. If it had a self-heal, like a heal over time, it'd be pretty good. Even that change would be pretty nice. Would be slow, but a heal over time is definitely something that's necessary. Besides that, I like the class. Pick it up. You're not missing anything. You know, it's free. It takes like 5 minutes max. You got it. Let me know if I can speak. I'm struggling. Let me know what type of classes you guys actually enjoy. Personally, I'm a big fan of the original classes, like the OG ones. But some of the newer ones are also pretty nice as well to use. I like the new Chaos Avenger buff they did. That's pretty cool. But yeah. Either way, I hope you guys have a good day, good night, good evening, whatever time it may be for you. If you like the content, please do consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.